Hey, what's going on guys, and welcome to the video. I've got another gross minivan in today. This one is a 2016 Chrysler Town & Country, and it might just take the prize for being the dirtiest minivan ever. Alright, before we get to all the goodies waiting on the inside, I'll give you a quick look at the exterior of this van. And as you can see, the entire thing is covered in dirt from front to back, likely from driving on gravel roads, as there's a little bit of mud in the wheel wells, and overall it's looking pretty grungy everywhere. But unfortunately, that is nothing compared to the interior, as there isn't a single inch or surface that is clean. It's almost hard to grasp just how dirty this van is. From the nasty cup holders to the disgusting door compartments, the horribly dirty carpets and floor mats, to the trunk with all kinds of gross stains. This van has enough French fries, chicken nuggets, and hot dogs in it to feed someone for a week. But as if that wasn't enough, the second row seat bins have turned into garbage cans and are full of old food. The level of grime in here is unmatched by anything I have ever seen before, as every inch of every single surface in here needs some extreme deep cleaning. But just before we dive into all those French fries, take a quick second and subscribe to the channel and turn the bell on so you don't ever miss out on one of these epic transformations. Moving to the back where most of the dirt is, and for those of you who are wondering what pressure washer I'm using, because I get asked dozens of times every week, it's a 110 volt electric Bertolini pressure washer that pushes 1900 psi at 2 gallons a minute, and with its cleaning power rivaling that of my much noisier gas powered Honda, I've pretty well made the switch over to this one, as I've got it set up really nice with a hose reel now, and the fact it's so quiet is a big plus since I wash in the garage so often. So for anyone who's curious, the link to the site where I bought it from is at the top of the description. Alright, so moving to the door jambs, and I'm not really sure how it happened, but there was a bunch of garbage and French fries in them that needed to get sprayed out as they were really stuck on. So using the pressure washer is really the easiest and quickest way to get these clean. Alright, so with the outside clean and dry, it's finally time to start on the massive job that this interior is going to be. So I'll quickly get the second row seats and some of the trim removed, as it's going to be far easier to clean everything outside of the vehicle, and then taking a quick look at the carnage that's still remaining. And I know I'm looking at a good 14 plus hours of work, and fortunately these storage bin liners are easily removed. So with everything out, I'm starting with getting the floor mats cleaned, and once I've vacuumed up all the loose dirt and debris, I'll get some carpet solution down to loosen up all the dirt and grime, and then blast them with the pressure washer. And for the couple of stubborn grimy spots that didn't come off, I'll be hitting those later on when I've got the steamer out. And you might also notice that I'm using the stiffer yellow drill brush instead of the soft white one, and that's because I knew that with floor mats and carpet as dirty and grimy as these are, I would need a bit more agitating power on some of those gross spots. Now I'm not certain, but one of these mats had some wet pink stuff all over it that looked and smelled exactly like vomit. That was definitely a bit of a shock, as the mat was buried in the trunk when it was dropped off, but luckily the drill brush made quick work of it and I could just blast the mat clean. Now I figured you guys would want to see all the garbage get dumped from the storage bin liners, and it's maybe hard to tell, but these liners are made of a super cheap material, and of course there was a fair amount of stuff really stuck on. So knowing that, I'm going to opt to hit them with the pressure washer rather than trying to extract them, as it will be the far easier way to get them clean. Alright, so moving back inside, and just before I can start on vacuuming, I'm quickly going around and picking up all the bigger garbage and debris that is too big to get sucked up by the vacuum. So a lot of the French fries, chicken nuggets, and of course that half-eaten hot dog. Now working my way around the vehicle, and you might notice there are a couple of pieces of gum that are stuck in the carpet, and unfortunately those aren't going to come out with the vacuum or the extractor, so I'll show you how I deal with gum a little bit later on, but for now I'll make sure every bit of dirt, debris, and all those French fries are sucked up so the carpet is ready to be extracted. Now I should also mention that along with removing the second row seats, I also dismantled the center console as much as I needed to, so that I could unearth some more treasure, and with a lot of it being really stuck on, even the detail brush can't quite get it loosened up, so again, I'll hit that area with the steamer later on. Here's the giant pile of garbage, French fries, and a whole lot of other gross stuff that was sucked out of this van, and to be honest, it didn't seem like that much when it was spread all around the vehicle. Alright, it's finally time to get to work on these dirty carpets, and like I mentioned earlier, I'm using the yellow drill brush for the carpets as there are so many stains and grimy areas in here that I know I need some extra power, and I'm starting with the trunk area so that it has as much time as possible to dry out before I end up storing the third row seats in here. And unfortunately, given the severity of some of the stains in here, I'm not expecting them all to come out, but as you guys know, I'll do everything that I can to get these carpets looking new again. Moving up to the strips of carpet by the sliding doors, and you guys will notice how the solution sort of ends up getting flung all around the vehicle when I use the drill brush. So for those of you who might be wondering, I do clean up the mess it makes once I'm done with the carpets, including lifting the carpet to make sure that everything is clean and dry. Here's all the gross and nasty water pulled from the carpet in this van, and this is definitely one of the dirtiest water pours I've had. Alright, with the carpets clean, it's time to bust out the steamer and tackle all the super grimy areas in this van. and trust me, there were a lot of them, as every inch of plastic trim in here needed to be steamed. So I'll work my way around the interior with a variety of attachments, using a detail brush to agitate where needed, and then simply wipe things clean with a microfiber towel. Now for one of the spots where there was a piece of gum stuck on, there's really no better way to get gum out than with a steamer, as the steam is able to almost instantly melt the gum off whatever it's stuck to, and by the time it flies off and lands close by, it's already cooled enough that it won't stick to anything else, so you can simply just pick up a couple of pieces and then toss them out. And as I work on the back of the driver's seat here, this is a perfect example of how well a steamer works and why you should have one if you enjoy detailing your own vehicles, as not only is it a ton of fun to use, it will basically make super quick work of any kind of crud or grime. So if any of you are in the market for one, the link to the McCulloch steamer that I use is in the description for you, along with nearly every other product and tool that I use, so feel free to check it out if you're interested. Now, not something I film very often, but for the super grimy cup holder and storage bin inserts, I figured I would again show you how well the steamer works. So using the soft brush attachment and some all-purpose cleaner, takes about a minute, and then quickly getting all the crud rinsed off, it honestly looks brand new again. Here's a quick shot of what this van looked like before, and now it truly doesn't even look like the same vehicle. It's looking so good. Moving to the glass now, and one thing you'll always see me do is roll down the windows so I can clean the top edge, as it only takes a second and is something that is guaranteed to be noticed by the customer if you don't. Hey, come on in.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good.
Good.
Wow. Seeing it shining from coming down the street there. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wow.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Is it pretty nasty?
It's pretty gross. I'm not gonna lie.
4 kids.
Yeah, 4 kids in the lot of road.
Yeah, it's all undone now though, so.
Holy, you're amazing.
Thank you.
I told them their shoes and socks off at the door.
That's right.
Thank you so much. I love it so much.
Yeah, that was my pleasure.
Holy cow, look at the seats even.
Okay, alright, well keep hearing it and hope you guys enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.